Garden Warfare 2 was released on the 23rd of February 2016. Now, it's a brilliant game, but it's not what I'm here to talk about today. There are many things that PopCap did correct with Garden Warfare 1, but there are also a lot of things that weren't as well received as they had initially hoped. So when it came to making Garden Warfare's sequel, they believed that a few changes needed to be made, which meant that certain things were left behind for good. Today I would like to discuss the abilities that didn't make it to Garden Warfare 2, and believe me, they do get better as they go on, so if you are thinking about clicking off, just don't. Let's start simple. The DLCs. That is right, Garden Warfare 1 actually had multiple DLCs. These brought new characters, and more importantly for this video, new abilities to the game. Thankfully, most of these DLC characters and abilities were brought back for Garden Warfare 2, but this can't be said for the Cheetos DLC. Now, let me just repeat that for those at the back. The Cheetos DLC. Released on the 19th of August 2014, the Cheetos DLC was only accessible for some players. Players were to purchase specifically marked brands of Cheetos which were exclusive to the supermarket Target. They were then to redeem a code online which would then enable them to access the downloadable content. The promotion did eventually end on the 26th of September 2014. This was due to many codes actually failing to work, and it was finally decided that the characters would just be released to all players. So let's see what it brought with it, shall we? Let's start with the Chesterweed. The Chesterweed is an alternate ability for the Chomper's Spikeweed. It attacks at an extremely fast pace, dealing up to 70 damage in 5 seconds, and if you eat a zombie trapped in the Chesterweed, it'll actually swallow significantly faster. Unfortunately though, this does come with a price as the Chomper can only hold 2 at a time. It also takes 60 seconds to recharge. Now, on a personal note, I do like the idea of the Chesterweed. I think players can definitely find themselves in positions where it would be the most effective form of the Spikeweed, but I don't use it. I prefer the regular Spikeweed. I prefer having 3. It makes more sense to me, but it's all down to personal opinion. The Cheesy Goop. Now, are we sensing a cheesy theme yet? Hopefully you don't hate it, because there's still 3 more cheesy abilities to talk about after this one. Now, shall we play a game? What ability branch do you think the Cheesy Goop belongs to? Of course, it's the Goop. It's literally exactly what it says on the tin. It's Goop, but it's cheesy. Now, I don't see a reason to use the Cheesy Goop, but that's just because I think the regular Goop is superior. Unlucky. Now let's move over to the zombies with the Sticky Cheetah Ball. The alternate ability to the Sticky Explodey Ball, it deals 75 damage to plants, however can't be thrown as far. Both the standard and this ability take 30 seconds to recharge, which in my opinion does actually make the Cheetah Ball worth using. Now we have the Cheesy Warp, which is probably the ability on this list which is most different from the standard variant. This is because the Cheesy Warp actually deals damage to enemy players. Yeah, that's right, a warp that deals damage. When the scientist reaches the warp's destination, there'll be a cheesy explosion which deals 30 damage to nearby players. Unfortunately, you can only hold 1 Cheesy Warp at a time, and it takes 15 seconds to recharge. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the ability and I do like the concept, but it doesn't really work with me. I use my scientist's warp to help with agility, and I like to move quickly, and warps really help with that. So this basically means that I need 2 to be able to do that. And to me, dealing 30 damage just doesn't justify losing a whole warp. But again, I do think it's a great concept for an ability. And I don't see a reason why it wasn't brought to Garden Warfare 2, even if it had to be a reskin. Finally, we're at the last cheesy ability. Don't worry, there isn't any more, I promise. Which is the Cheetah Heal Station. Now, I will argue in favour of this ability all day, every day, until my last day. This is by far the best ability Garden Warfare has ever had, DLC or not. The tears that streamed down my face when I loaded up Garden Warfare 2 for the first time, and I noticed that there wasn't a Cheetah Heal Station in there. Oh my god, I was devastated. The Cheetah Heal Station, obviously, is an upgrade to the Scientist's Heal Station. It heals the fastest of any heal station, but it also self-destructs the quickest after just 15 seconds. But honestly, who the fuck cares? Who cares how long the heal station lasts? Who cares how much health it has? It does its job, and it does it the most efficiently. And it looks sexy while it's doing so. And that is why it is my favourite and the best of the cheesy abilities. I think the reason why these cheesy abilities weren't actually brought to Garden Warfare 2 was just purely down to legal reasons. I think that because they were in a DLC with Cheetos, that they were literally only able to be on Garden Warfare 1 and not a second title. I'm not quite sure on that, don't quote me on that. But I do think they could probably have just done it with a reskin. Like, just reskin all the abilities, change the names, and then you're fine. Like, why not? But there is still more abilities that didn't quite make the cut. Garden Warfare 2 also missed out on my personal favourite ability on this list. The Zombot Drone. Now, for those of you who've never played Garden Warfare 1, you might not have known that the zombies still had a class with a drone, despite this fucker not being included. Which character had the drone, I hear you ask? Well, the engineer, obviously. This came in the form of the Zombot drone, which, if I'm honest, is pretty much just a reskinned Garlic drone, but it does kind of make more sense that the engineer can build and fly a drone, rather than a pirate being able to fly a parrot using a map. Yeah, I don't really know what they were thinking there. The Zombot drone has 5 health, and is controlled the exact same way as the Garlic drone. 2 abilities change the altitude, and the Y ability being the lethal ability. In this case, the Y ability is the Corn Strike. Used to vanquish a large group of plants, it does 70 damage per corn and drops 3 corns each time. If the player is too far away but it's still in its splash radius, they'll take 35 damage. Like the Cacti's Corn Strike, the ability takes 10 seconds to recharge the first time, and 30 seconds after that. Now, what's better than a Zombot drone, I hear you ask? Well, a Zombot drone with fucking lasers, that's what. This comes in the form of the Rocket drone. An unlockable upgrade for the Engineer's drone ability, the Rocket drone has 15 more health and is equipped with the Mean Beam, which, if you ask me, is a sick name for a primary weapon. And its main ability, the Loon Cone. The Artichoke drone's zombie counterpart drops 1 explosive cone that deals up to 25 damage and takes 4 seconds to recharge. Right, okay, I get that it's literally just the Artichoke drone, right? But it's not. It really is not. It has fucking lasers. And just look at it. It looks insane. Why on earth did they remove this for a fucking parrot? Seriously. And honestly, if you need any more convincing that Garden Warfare 2 missed out on these abilities, the engineer literally controls his drone with an Atari controller. How insane is that? Oh no, but we need a pirate with a map. No. Bring back the engineer's drones. I'm sick of it. Alright, that is all for today. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you learned something new. I hope you do actually agree with some of my points, rather than me just sounding like a madman screaming shit in the middle of the street. But leave a like if you did like the video. Dislike it if you're a dickhead. Comment down below and let me know your opinion on different abilities. What abilities you thought should have been brought to Garden Warfare 2. What you think it missed out on. Just literally anything. Give me interactions. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.